wins, I think this process will get delayed.
It'll get derailed, more like delayed, I think, and all these cases will set precedences which will be followed. So these are the initial teething troubles, and once we have precedences, once we have set rules or norms in place, then the process will pick up in true earnest, could be maybe 3 to 6 months down the line. But despite our having a negative view on corporate banks and PSUs, one does have to admit that there's a great deal of enthusiasm for bidding for these stressed assets. And the silver lining is that eventually, maybe 6 months, 1 year down the line, the kind of provisioning which has been made or which is needed to be made may be far in excess of what these banks actually realize from the state of the assets. So, these processes take long in a democratic country like India, where the kind of bidders and the companies which are stressed are more than happy to go to the courts to get their rights actually enforced. So these are teething troubles, but just imagine 6 months, 1 year down the line, you will be away, we'll be through with all these problems, and the process will pick up quite speedily. It will be transparent, and eventually the realizations will be far higher than what the street has been expecting. So that, I think, is a very positive trend which needs to be followed quite closely.
Okay, and as the race for Essar only hots up, let's take it across to Sangeeta Mehta from the Economic Times. Sangeeta, what's the latest that you're picking up right now?
So the latest that we heard is that the meeting of lenders has just got concluded. There are the resolution professional Satish Gupta has declared both ArcelorMittal and New Metal ineligible. They have also decided to go for a second round of bidding, and there was a discussion among the lenders whether they should invite bids from those who have not given the bid in the first round, those who have not given expression of interest. There was some bit of debate on that, but finally lenders concluded that let us stick to only those bidders who have given bids in the first, who have given expression of interest. So this is what has been concluded in the COC, which is just got concluded now.
Okay, let's also get in more clarity from Neha Bothra, who joins in with more details. Neha, what is the status now with the Essar Steel's Committee of Creditors in terms of the overall rebidding process now that the meeting has concluded?
Indeed, Avan, there was a lot of mystery around this. We were wondering if ArcelorMittal, New Metal could be able to go ahead as far as bidding for Essar Steel is concerned. The most prized asset as far as the stressed assets are concerned in the steel sector. The meeting has concluded, and sources tell us that ArcelorMittal and New Metal will be allowed to resubmit their bids provided they comply with all norms of the IBC, which means they will have to completely exit their stake in respective companies which are considered to be related party accounts, as well as those companies which have been classified as NPA. So what this really means is that ArcelorMittal will have to be clear with its standing with Uttam Galva, which, remember, has been a non-performing asset for more than 1 year. It will have to completely exit this account and start on a new slate. As far as New Metal is concerned, they will have to ensure that Revant Ruia, that holds no stake in the consortium, and ensure that they comply to the letter as far as the IBC norms are concerned. Apart from this, of course, sources also tell us that ArcelorMittal and also New Metal will be allowed to submit bids once they comply with the norms, along with other players who had interest in the process. This would mean that Vedanta, Tata Steel and Nippon Steel can also resubmit their bids. And we are told that the entire bidding process that is now opened will close on the 2nd of April. This is the window that lenders have decided to give to the investors to rebid for the asset, which is Essar Steel in question. Of course, we have to see how this will pan out. But of course, lenders here do expect to maximize the value they will get. They hope that the bids will be much higher, and this has given them hope as far as recovering much of their loan in this stressed asset space is concerned.
The bids from New Metal and ArcelorMittal is the quantum known, or that quantum still is not out in the public domain?
We don't have the details of the resolution plan that was submitted by ArcelorMittal or Nu Metal, but bankers that we interacted with informally off the record told us that they were hoping these resolution plans would be considered because they were very promising. In fact, the haircut bankers would have to take would be to the tune of about 40% or so, which in today's time would be considered very attractive by most bankers when they are seeing haircuts to the extent of 50 to 60% in many other cases. So Essar Steel was the one prized steel asset on the block where they really pinned their hopes as far as recovering much of the dues is concerned, because many other assets that are in the stressed asset space undergoing IBC proceedings at NCLT have shown little promise in terms of investors' appetite and also the kind of value they can bring to the table going forward. Essar Steel now, of course, promises to be the golden goose really for many of these banks because it's not just ArcelorMittal and ArcelorMittal and Nu Metal that will improve the resolution plan they have earlier submitted and comply with IBC norms, but it is also a second opportunity for other strong players like Tata Steel, Vedanta, and also Nippon Steel to upgrade the resolution plan they earlier submitted to ensure they are part of the competitive league and join the highest bids and get a chance to buy Essar Steel as well.
Okay, thanks very much, Neha, for giving us all of those details. In fact,